Okay, record. All right, I've just recorded this. As I said before, that because as so many people have just coming in, I've got people coming in and coming out. Right, as I said before, anything that I may put out for recording purposes, I will obviously let you guys know, right? And every time somebody speaks like myself, that's the person that's being recorded anyway. Okay, right? Okay. So, yeah, as I said, yeah, your names are on there, so I can mention by name, and people may be coming in as we're actually doing this. So we're gonna begin this right now, right? And I can only say thank you for those that came in. One person came in and they said that they had something important to do, so they had to then just leave, right? And there will be all sorts of reasons why people are coming in or coming out, right? So just let me know though that you are there. So. Just for a moment, just everybody just put their cameras on, so I just know that you're there. Abdul's cameras on, which is fine. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So just put your cameras on for a moment, or just speak. Put cameras on, or just say something. Like Fatu just took off her mic, so just speak, please, Fatu.
Hi.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm still around. I'm still around.
Okay, good, great, MLK. Sheriff. It may have just come off for a moment. Okay, and Mohammed. Mohammed? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you okay, good, fine. All right, brilliant. All right. So if you need to stay off camera, that's fine. I know that you're there. Okay, right? Right. So let's now begin this. Yeah, like as I
Yeah,
said,
good evening, everyone.
yeah, some people may not be able to come on right now for whatever reason, right? So that's why it is good to have the camera. Yeah, for the it's good to have the recording on. You're right. So for that reason, yes, I've just muted everyone, right? Just so that I'm just the only person. Now I'm gonna keep this sharp, short, sweet, and sharp, so that no time is wasted. Yeah, and then obviously people can continue for the rest of their nights. Okay. Now, I don't know if some of you actually saw the video, the Instagram that I did with MLK. He works for Choice FM Radio. So the first lot of the feedback was given on then with the women. And just have in mind, okay, 17 women took part. Someone's coming in. Give me a second. Let me bring that person in. Um, so let me hold on and okay. I'll ask to unmute. Hello there. Just unmute your Zoom. Okay, just say hello.
Hello.
Okay, all right, brother. If you're the only person that's not written your name. Okay. Hey, bro. Hey, is that Ibrahim?
Naam.
Huh?
Yes, it's Ustaz Ibrahim.
Oh, have you grown a beard? You've got a beard since I've seen you. You see, with fasting, what it looks like in the time of Ramadan, when people have been
Naam.
thinner because they're not eating so much, some people their beard is be growing bigger. So they be getting thinner, beard is growing thick, growing bigger. Hey,
Aywa.
that's a nice beard you got there. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you for joining. Right. So over here you have a you did actually tell me what you're called actually. Let me see if I can remember what you said. I want to say it myself, but where I said that there was an officer in the room, yeah, but also we also have a spiritual leader here as well. And you're an usta, yeah? Is it usta?
Yeah,
Usta, yeah.
Ustaz.
Usta, yeah, yeah. So we have Usta here as well, right? Okay. All right.
Naam.
So we've got one young lady in the room. We had another one, but she had to leave something important to do. I'm not sure what it is. And I had another one young lady that was trying to come on. Yeah. But I'm going to address things like that in a moment. Yeah. Now, what I said, I'm not too sure if some of you saw some of the footage. And as well as that, just so you know, once again, this is recorded. Yeah. And if anything was to be shown, you guys would know and what specifically is to be shown if it was to be shown out there, right? So I put you all on mute just for the time being, right? And obviously at some point I'll maybe be asking each and every person to say something, yeah. But the ladies' surveys had come out, and that was explained on MLK's radio show on the feedback, yeah, on how that went. Okay, someone else has come in the room. Okay, I'm gonna have to continue. I can't just keep on stopping like that. Yeah, right. So the Zoom person, you've come in. If you could put your name in. Same with you, Ibrahim, if you can. On the where it says mute, you'll see where it says mute if you touch your screen. Yeah, just beside it, you'll see three dots. And there's three dots there. Just press it there. You can add your name inside there. Yeah, all right. Abduli Niang. All right, cool. Hi there, Abdullah Niang. Yeah, so just because it'd be good to have your names inside those boxes, right? Okay. So, as I was saying before, 17 young ladies had took part in a survey, of which 4 young ladies completed the survey. Okay, right there, Bijello, yeah. So only 4 had completed it, whereas with the men's survey, 20 men had taken part in it and 11 had completed it. So what you have is 25% of the women had taken part and completed the survey, whereas 56% of men had completed the survey, right? And when speaking to the women, they had a lot to say about men, why they don't want to get married, but yet they didn't really want to take part in the survey. Whereas the men were cool and calm about it. No huge complaints or problems. They weren't whining or moaning, but they had taken part. So it tells you already that there is some issues to actually address there, right? So with regards to the men, now obviously you guys want to know how both the men and the women did, but in this case, I'd say maybe to address the men first, right? But I actually want to go with the flow with this. I do want to talk about the problems that are facing in the Gambia, which is that women are, going into their 30s and they are just not feeling compelled to get married, right? And then it seems as though the men are kind of being looked at as though um, they're not fit for marriage. Yeah. And then when you do have the conversation um, with the men, it seems that they have some things to say and they do have some concerns, right? But they're kind of a bit chilled about it. Okay. Whereas with the women, they actually would like to get married, but they feel like they can do it a bit later. Yeah. Now, as you can see, in terms of, as I said, with the room, there's more men inside here, and there's just the one young lady in here, which is great. It's fantastic. She actually turned up, but there seems to be a pattern in the trends here. So what I was saying to you before, right, where 17 women took part in the survey, but only 4 completed the survey, but 11 men out of 20. So it's more than half the men actually had taken part in the survey, right? So what I would do, I'm going to go into the results. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, Ibrahim's come back in. Share my screen. All right, notes. I hope you guys can see this. Could you guys let me know if you can see this? Yeah. Somebody says, so just somebody say yes, please.
I'm sorry. It's very small. It's really small. You have to zoom it though.
It's very small.
Yeah, but when you zoom it, you can see the writings.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, you mean that it's oh, I see what you're saying. All right.
Like it's very thin. The writings are very,
Oh,
very
yeah,
thin.
right. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can do something about that. Give me a second. Where are you? You should be.
Kel, it's the font size. Font size.
There's
The
me a
font size
moment.
is
Yeah,
very
yeah.
small.
Where is the? There you go. Should be able to.
Font,
But it's okay if we should zoom it on. We can zoom it on our phone. So
You can
I'm
do.
doing that. I
Okay.
think everybody, yeah,
All right.
everybody
no,
can
we
do that.
cannot. Kel,
Oh,
can
some
you
of you
try to
can't.
adjust it?
Okay.
Can
Bear
you
me
try
a
to adjust
moment.
it? We cannot.
Bear with me a moment. Hold on. Let me see what I can do here. Bear with me a moment. Respondents. I don't know why I cannot be able to get the size. I should be able to get the size on here. All right, okay. All right. Don't worry about it too much. I'm gonna read it out anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna read it out. So let's not bother about that too much. Okay. All right. So I will read it out. All right. Now, with the ladies survey, this is just a recap because some of you actually might have seen it. Yeah. What I had to focus just on the four women that actually completed it. So two were in high school, one in college, one had a degree, right? One was a law student, one did food, one did hair, I think, and one did fashion, right? And by the way, the law student was the one that actually won. She actually won the whole survey. Yeah. But the results that she gave was actually quite interesting because um, where it says, if you can see it in number 4, it says 3 of the women wanted to have monogamous relationship, whereas one of them was fine to do polygamy. Okay, right? So what you had in all the survey that I did for the women, there was only 2 Christians. Yeah, the rest were Muslims. So we know it's a Muslim country anyway, right? So what you had were that the women, even the Muslim women, they would rather to have monogamy relationships. They didn't want polygamy. But the person that won it, she was fine with having polygamy based on the reason that because the man would not have to focus on her, she could do what she wanted to do. Yeah, in terms of if it's she wanted to study law or business. So she appreciated the fact that she wouldn't be concentrated on, if she was one of the wives, which I found very interesting. Actually, I found quite clever, to be honest with you, right? I found that only one person wanted to have guidance when it came to vetting. So women are happy to choose their own husbands, which is a problem in itself. Once upon a time, men were very or heavily involved, yeah, in helping to find a suitor for their daughters. What this is telling you is that women now are becoming independent. They want to do it themselves, right? And then obviously, if it doesn't go quite right the way how they want it to, well, they're going to blame the men anyway. Yeah, and if it's not their man that they're blaming on that they're having their divorce with, it'll be their father, but their father didn't actually have any room to help there. In terms of being jealous, women, half the amount here said that they would be jealous in terms of there being another woman involved, right? But in some cases, that's actually a lot more women would be jealous. You find that half women have cheated, and it's a thing where when it comes to cheating, women generally think that it's just not good for both men and women to cheat. Yeah. And then and the typical thing is that if you're going to express any kind of love, that would have to be done by action, right? So generally with the women, yeah, and then the biggest one actually also, this is not on here because I can't show everything, but trust was an issue, yeah, when it came to if they were to get married, what would be the thing that would hurt them the most is if their man is just untrustworthy, right? Okay, so that's for the women's one, right? I'm going to quickly show you the men's one, okay, and then I'm going to get you guys to do a poll. Right, so, okay, so once again, you might not be able to see this, it's fine, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm going to, someone needs to go on mute, I will mute you, it's fine. Okay, right.
Không còn là ăn bao giờ.
So now with the men's one, this is the first time this has been out, yeah, for the men to actually see this, right? Okay, and by the way, I forgot to say for the women's one, majority of the women that took part in the survey was between 25 to 34. So I'm talking, if I'm correct, there was like maybe if there was 17, about I think 12 or 13, I think, were actually between that age, which is telling you that the single woman is rising to the age of oh, someone wants to come in. Bear with me a moment. Admit this person, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So basically you have majority of the women that took part in this survey was between 25 to 34. That means that once again, there's a lot of women that are single that are over 25. So that's telling you already that there's a problem. Yeah, just by those simple questions, of who's taking part in this survey. Yeah. For the men, 35% was between 18 to 24, and 50% was between 25 to 35. So you're looking at 85% of the men, right, were under 35. Let's say between 18 and 35, yeah? But it's different for men because the peak age for men in getting married or being established and being successful is about 40, 45 anyway. So it's very different when it comes to men. Yeah, men don't have to be 21, 22 to 23 to actually get married, right? So it doesn't even really matter really with the age here. Yeah, so men will be looking to get married a bit later. Let me quickly go through this. It will, if you can see it or not, I'm not going to go through the high school or whatsoever. 20 out of the 20 men that took part in this, even though 11 men had completed the survey, were all Muslim. So once again, it shows you that this is a Muslim country that has Muslim values. Now, that's a very important key that I want to talk about there. Yeah, Muslim values. So where I was saying to you before, that on the other side of with the women's surveys, yeah, only two were Christian ladies. The rest were Muslims. And now you're looking at the values in terms of what Islam would expect you to do. Yeah. So I'll put that on the shelf for a moment. So in terms of monogamy, the men strongly supported by 23% and supported by 23%. So 46% of men are okay with monogamy. 23% of them opposed it, and 15% and strongly opposed it. So you're looking at 38% of men actually oppose monogamy, right? And they have their reasons why. As a Muslim, it's my right to have more than one wife. There are 6 women to one man, and so on and so on. Yeah. What are your views on polygamy? 38% said strongly support, and 31% said support. So what you then have is almost 70% of men support polygamy. Yeah, 31% is neutral, and no one strongly opposes it, right? What are your views on marriage? I won't go into that. Do you think women's expectations are too high in today's society? 92% of men said yes, it is, right? What do you believe are the main the main reasons men are single in modern times compared into traditional eras? Let me read it again. What do you believe are the main reasons men are single in modern times compared to traditional eras? They said economic challenges. Would you agree with the statement? Traditional courting, which is a vetting system, that means that the father is involved in finding a husband for their daughter, right? So would you agree with the statement? Traditional courting has created marriages, whereas modern dating, right, women choosing your own partner, has caused divorces. 72% yes, that dating as causing divorces. So basically, fathers not being involved. Do you think modern movies, sitcoms, rom-coms, and TV are used to program how women think about relationships? 91% of men said yes. Right? Do you think that society is driving women to become more independent and to totally exclude men? 82% of men said yes. Right? Now, once again, there's more results to this. I don't mind. I can send it out to you guys and then you can read it, yeah? But obviously, I won't be staying on this too long, right? So I'm now going to come out of this, right? So what you're seeing there, right, is a result of, once again, I'll say it again because some people have just walked in. 17 women took part in the survey, but only 4 completed the survey, whereas 20 men, yeah, and by the way, women had about 14 days to complete it. The men only did it in 10 days, right? And majority of people, men had answered. Yeah, and by the way, there were problems with networks why people couldn't actually put the survey in. But 11 out of 20 men had taken part. So over 56% of men had done the survey, whereas with the women, only 24%, right? And they're the ones that are complaining, saying that there is a problem with the men. Yeah, and by the way, the issues that they're finding, what I'm seeing in terms of their writing is trust, but it's not just the trust with the men, it's the trust actually with other women. They're a bit concerned that the other women will be taking more of the rights over the other and things like that, right? And then with the men, there's a few men that actually did not that they actually opposed polygamy. Now, I wasn't able to. Some people wanted to actually come on board to actually talk about this to see why they felt against polygamy. So yeah, they felt against polygamy, right? Right. So even some men have been through some traumas in being in a polygamy system. So it's not just women; it's also men as well. Yeah, but I wasn't able to actually get them on today. Right, okay. Let me know if you can see this poll. Has the poll come through? Can you guys see a poll? Somebody
Yeah,
unmute.
yeah, yeah,
Abdullah, can you see a poll?
yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. I can see. I can
Okay.
see. Yeah.
Can you guys all answer the poll, please? Yeah? I'm going to give you guys about a minute. Please answer the poll. Yeah, let me know if you're doing it. Abdullah, are you doing the poll?
Can I? Would you like to be married somebody?
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone do the poll, please.
Monogamy or polygamy? Polygamy. Submit. I did it.
I've submitted mine.
Okay, good. All right, fine. Yeah. Everybody do the poll, please. Everyone. Okay, I understand though that some people are in a relationship already, so that you may not have to. If you're obviously in a relationship or you're married, you don't have to do this. Yeah, I should have made that clear. And then once I do this, I'm going to open up the floor, basically. Yeah. So I've not been strict with the I'm not being strict with the agenda today. Okay, all right, we're not doing badly for time. All right, I'm gonna just do 30 more seconds, guys, and then I'm going to, because so far I can see that three, three people have taken part in this in the poll. All right, I'm going to end this poll now, yeah? All right, hopefully everyone's done it. That we're able to do it. Okay. All right, I'm ending the poll and I'm hoping I can see it. Okay, so would you like to be married? Yes, 100%. Okay. Right. Monogamy or polygamy? 83% has said polygamy, right? Now, there are more men in here. I'm going to share the results. so that you can see it, right? Okay. What age would you like to be married? In their 20s? Have you ever cheated? Yes. What's stopping you from marrying? Trust issues. Wow. Okay. Are you male or female? Okay. Four male and one is female. So five people from the looks of it had taken part in this, right? So, and there's only one young lady in here that's actually representing the women right now, right? So this is not just a female issue, but this also is a male issue as well, right? And polygamy is 5 out of the 6. Monogamy is just the one. So it'll be interesting to know who that is, but I would kind of guess who that would have been actually, right? But 7 people, 100% some people have said that yes, they'd like to be married. So being married is something that people want. Yeah, yeah, but there's obviously problems, right? Okay, but this in itself, okay, good questions. And yeah, that's quite interesting. Now, so with all that information, I'm gonna stop sharing that. Okay. All right, cool. Right. Okay. You'll see at the bottom, it should say react. If you press that button there, it will give like a hand gesture, right? If you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. Right? So press the heart, where it says react, press the heart. It will say raise hand. Just raise your hand if you have a question so far. Um, so no one's got a question, no? Everyone's good. Okay, cool. All right, so there's no questions so far. Okay, fine. All right, so I will come away from there, right? Now, once again, there was a lot more to share here, right? But I want to open the room because we only got really 20 minutes. Yeah, and as you know, when you start sharing, you really do share. But I'll just say the fundamental points again before I ask a few people to come in and say something, right? Okay. Now, once again, I didn't properly introduce myself. My apologies. Yeah, I think some of you have met me, some of you haven't. I'm from the UK. My ancestry is from Africa. My ancestors, your ancestors, our ancestors got on the boat. That's me. Went over to the Caribbean, to South America, Guyana. Because we speak English, we wanted more work, so we went to the UK. So I've lived in London, England, for all my life, but I'm now coming home to live here. Now, I didn't share this before. Okay. Actually, maybe I will quickly do this. Actually, I will share this. Right. So very quickly, if I'm correct, yeah. Here are my credentials. I hope you guys can see this. Right. Okay. This is showing you basically what I do. Yeah. So I'm a life coach. I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified mentor. About 2, 3 years now. I'm an English teacher, as well as that, I'm an entertainer. I'm a singer. Yeah, for 30 years. I'm a vocal coach for 15 years. I'm a driving instructor specialist. Okay, so really and truly, I should come in Gambia and help and assist on the driving here. Yeah, I should really be doing that. I'm just taking one step at a time, right? These are some of the services that I actually was doing here. I didn't put on here that I also got a degree in business management and I got a master's in politics of Africa. And at some point, I do want to go for my doctorate, right? So imagine I have come here all the way from the UK. I've come back home to Africa. And when I come back home to Africa, I am seeing problems that I'm seeing in the UK. And it's made me concerned. Hence, I've did these surveys to see what was going on. Because if I want to live here, I need to see how that looks like. Yeah. Right. So that's me. Okay. Now, there's a few people. What I'll do, I'm going to first ask. I'm going to ask MLK. Yeah, and then I'm going to ask Usta Ibrahim to come in afterwards, and then we'll open up the floor to everyone. Okay, MLK, you still there? If you can unmute yourself, please. MLK?
Yeah, I'm around. But if you can give me just maybe you can ask another person. But maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 minutes, I will park my car inside, so I'll be very
Okay,
free
no
to answer.
problem. I'll ask Ibrahim. Yeah.
All right.
Ustad Ibrahim, okay, if you could unmute yourself. Now, once again, Ustad Ibrahim is, I met him in a mosque in Westfield side. They were doing a service that I went with a young lady actually to learn more um, about marriages, yeah, and also about polygamy. And they were speaking in the native language, which obviously I didn't understand. So thankfully, Ibrahim and him and I got to talk about this. And he then gave me some words of advice and gave me some information, about living as a Muslim and being married. And he'll tell you more about himself anyway. But I'd like him to share, yeah, based on things that have been said, things that he's heard, things, and also what he stands for. Yeah? Okay, and it's been a thing as well is that I have to be very careful in terms of what information is visually shown because some people are serious Muslims, so I've had to hold back to ensure that no one is offended on visuals and stuff like this. And him being in here, have to respect the order of Islam. Yeah. Also, Ibrahim, please, if you could introduce yourself and then please just share with us what you shared with me in terms of the survey I've done and also what you stand for, what the mosque stands for in terms of marriages. Unmute yourself. Yeah. Ibrahim.
Ibrahim to my motor. We are not here.
Who is that?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Oh, you're back. Okay, brilliant.
I was just moving out from a noisy place to a more convenient place.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic.
Now, Alhamdulillah, my name is Ibrahim Job, known as Abu Fatima. I am living in the Gambia as a Muslim, a practicing Muslim, as an ustaz, teaching the Quran and Islamic knowledge. Alhamdulillah, I met Brother Kel, as he rightly said in the masjid, that we were doing a seminar about polygamy and about the importance of marriage, especially polygamy, the importance of polygamous marriage. So we met and discussed, Alhamdulillah, and then there were some questions that he asked when we were chatting through WhatsApp. And one of the questions was, how is marriage in Gambia? And, he was doing a survey trying to know how many people are not married and what are the reasons, etc., here and there. So with that, Alhamdulillah, we discussed, and then I share some experience that I have and some knowledge that I have with regards to marriage in the Gambia. As a Muslim, we all know that marriage is encouraged by Islam. Even in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his sayings and sunnah, he mentioned this also. Allah said, is among his signs that he created. I mean, ayatihi an khalaqa lakum min anfusikum azwaja. He said, among his signs, he created from us, meaning human beings, wives, mates that we will marry and then be with them and then find tranquility in them. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. And then Allah said, he placed between the man and the woman affection, love, and mercy. So you can see his marriage is a sign of mercy from Allah that he placed between us human beings. And Allah created from ourselves our mates, our wives. It shows that a man will marry a woman who are the same species, the same creation. We are from Adam and Adam is from clay. So it shows equality. We are all equal with regards to creation, how we are created.
Sorry. Are you doing a dawah or what? I don't understand.
Hold on. Let me mute that person. Carry on, Ibrahim, carry on.
Well, لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. As I said earlier, so marriage itself is encouraged by Allah, and as the Prophet ﷺ encouraged us to get married. So knowing, as a Muslim, knowing what is marriage, and knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created our mates from our own selves, shows equality with regards to we are all equal, as we are all human beings. Nobody is superior to the other. And when we talk about the things, the reasons why many of the youths today are not married, you can look back and say there's a reason. One reason we call people think that we are not equal. That's a major reason why some of the youths are not married. There are other reasons, but this is a major reason. Some people think that they are not equal with regards to class. They are more superior to the others, so they cannot get married. Some people think that this tribe and that tribe cannot get married. Some people think that you are a griot and I'm a blacksmith, we cannot get married. All goes back to what? Equality. We are not equal. We are not the same. So this is a major reason why most of the youth today are not married. That's one. Two, finances is a major also reason why most of the youths today are not married with regards to the men. Because what you are expected to do, what you are expected to spend, the expenses that comes with it, they are way too much. Just to spend on one night or one day or in a week to have a wife, and then you have to spend with that sister you married for your whole life, spending on her, taking care of her, and then unnecessarily on one day, one night, the day of the nikah, the day of the marriage, you should spend like almost 150 or 200,000 in one night. Some people will spend that, some people they can't because of their finances. They have problem in their finances, they cannot do that. That's also another reason why many of the youths today are not married. Three, with regards to the sisters, they pick and choose whom to marry. I'm talking about basing this on Islam. We as Muslims are told to marry a person who have deen, who have religion and good manners. Yes, you marry someone who can take care of you, who is responsible to take care of you. That's part of it, part and parcel of marriage. The man should be responsible to take care of the wife. But that's not the sole.
Kel,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
people are doing.
Met Jallo can come in, inshallah, if he has something to say.
I'm saying, like, are you people doing a da'wah or what? I don't understand.
What? Sorry,
Are you doing it?
sorry, Ibrahim. Sorry, Ibrahim.
No problem, no problem. I understand some people, they have questions and things to say. He can, he
hold
can, he
on.
can. Met Jallo, you can.
Mo, let this young man finish, please. Yeah. Okay. If you have to write something in the chat, please do that instead. Everybody for a moment, could everybody just allow Ibrahim to finish what he's saying? He'll be finishing soon for someone else to talk. Yeah. If someone's got to say something, please put it in the chat. Thank you. Sorry, Ibrahim. Please carry on.
Yeah, as I was saying, he thinks that this is a dawah, like a lecture. It's not a lecture. I'm just giving the reasons that what we've discussed before, because all those things come through this. It started from this and then it comes through this because of you did a survey trying to know how many people want to do polygamy, what are the reasons why people are not married, the youths, the sisters here and there. So some of those things that we've discussed, that's what I'm trying to explain so that we know.
Oster, please, yeah, fine. Just carry on. I've not stopped you from talking. So please just carry on.
Yeah, so as I said, one is finances. The other one is lack of equality, lack of understanding of we are all humans. There is no superiority between us. Three, lack of knowledge about marriage. Four, tribalism here and there affects the youths so much so that to choose a wife, you have to be a Fuller to marry a Fuller, you have to be a Madinka to marry a Madinka, you have to be a Wolof to marry a Wolof, etc., etc. And three, high hopes why women will prefer to marry men who are like more luxurious when it comes to dunya than men who are not so fortunate to have, you know, to be economically or financially stable, different from men who are financially stable. And the pick and choose that happens in the country is too much. Men or women don't allow their guardians, their parents, to be involved in them choosing a spouse, which is a major also setback. Because it's important to have someone to guide you to choose a spouse. But most of you, the youth today, they don't allow their parents to guide them, which makes it very difficult to marry someone. Because sometimes you see a sister will see a man and they talk and then want to get married. When it comes to the parents, to that level, the parents will say no. Why? Because they don't know the guy. Yeah, they don't know him to be of somebody with good character, with good with deen, etc., etc. As a Muslim, they will not allow it because they feel the woman should have a guardian to support, to guide her to choose a spouse. So with little knowledge, these are some of the things that I pick from the reasons why today is difficult to find a spouse. And we'll talk about polygamy later as we go on, inshallah.
Thank you, Ustad Ibrahim. Yeah, that was short and concise, very well packed there. Yeah, and hopefully maybe, you know, later stage, you know, we can address that some more. Thank you. MLK, are you around now? MLK? Okay, all right. He may come back in a moment. Let me open up the floor. Does anybody want to chime in? Has anybody got anything to say? Abduli?
Yeah,
Thank you, Abduli.
yes.
Oh, hold on.
I
Sorry,
got
Abduli. Bear me a moment. MLK, are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm backing. I'm
Okay.
backing.
Abduli, just hang on there, yeah? You'll be there afterwards, right? You'll be straight afterwards. MLK? All right.
Yes.
Yeah, if you can, now obviously I went on your radio show, and obviously you heard the results, yeah? Did you hear the results on like with the men, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously that's the first time you actually heard that with regard to the men's responses. And as I said to you on the show that um, there were a lot of complaints from the women, but not a lot of them took part in the survey. Whereas with the men, they wanted the, well, a few men said, would we like to do a survey as well? And it had more men taking part that more than the women. It's a bit like what you're seeing right now. There's more men in here. Just now, there's about 9, maybe almost 10 men in here, and there's only just one woman in here. Yeah. And I have to thank that young lady to be here. Yeah. Right. What's coming to you based on what we did on a radio show and now the new results that have come in terms of what men think about marriage and how we could go forward with this? As you just frozen.
Hello.
Am I okay?
Hello.
You there? Oh, it's happening tonight, isn't it?
Hello.
How's your reception, MLK? Okay, all right. You're there. MLK, unmute yourself.
So can I come in?
No, he is back. He is back. Abduli, I mean MLK, sorry. Can you please comment?
Yeah. The network was really fluctuating, so I couldn't hear the latter part of your question. You know.
Right. I was just very quickly, I was saying basically based on when I came in and we spoke about the ladies, now some new information is coming about the men. And I was saying to you that only a few women took part in the survey, but more men took part in it, you know, of which there's only just one young lady in this room. And I think at one point we almost had about 9 people in here, just one lady. So what's coming to you based on what we spoke about and the new information that's come through? Obviously, we spoke about this on the radio station. What comes to you in terms of what's happening in the Gambia when it comes to relationships?
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach Kel, and then I thank everybody that is on board. tonight to leave their time and then take part of to this discussion. Of course, it is a very, very important discussion as far as um, our society is concerned, because this is not a joke. If you see, that's why I have to thank Ibrahim before coming to your question, for coming to the Islamic or to the religious aspect of it and quoting it from there. It's very important, because we are Muslims. Whatever we are doing, we cannot exclude Islam out of it as a Muslim. Although we are Africans, and then we don't joke with our cultures also, but the religion also is very paramount as far as our society is concerned. It's there are a lot of factors. Coming back to your question, there are a lot of factors that is causing this single life in this country. Me talking to you, I'm in my 30s, I'm still single. And then usually in those days, like you said, in the let's say in the last like 50 years back or 60 years back, our elders, our fathers get married so early, in their 20s they get married. But one of the reason is Ibrahim already said it, that is our parents took part. Let's say our grandparents took part to our father's marriage, because they try to find, especially still now some families are doing it, that is the first wife your father will find it for you. Your first wife your father will find it for you, and then the second, third, fourth wife, then you can find the first wife. But your first wife, still some families are practicing that, like your first wife your father will find. And when you are in your 20s, whether you want it or you don't want it, they will try to find a lady for you to get married, okay, and then just give you that responsibility. But again, let's come to the societal aspect of it. Most of these young ladies, the reason why they are not getting married is the economical aspect of it, because everybody wants a luxury life. Everybody want to look like Nicki Minaj, like Beyonce, So it's more of a westernized than our own way of life as Africans, as Gambians, and that is another factor that is really causing. In fact, after getting married, some people will going to get married because their friends are already venture into marriage, you know but some people also, even if they get married, after, let's say, after a few years, sometimes it will not even get to years, and they will divorce. Why? Because the life that they were living when they were in their single life, they want to drag the same life into their matrimonial life, and it didn't. It can't work. And another sad thing, I will give you an example. Most of the young women now, they said, when I'm going to marry, I'm going to marry. I'm doing this for my husband. I'm not doing it for my husband's mother. I'm not doing it for my husband's father. You know, don't get it twisted. In Islam give the priority to the husband. Like you are going, you are marrying for your husband. But again, if you connect it with our cultures and our traditions, if you go to your matrimonial house, when your husband's mother or husband's father is there, you have to take care of them no matter what. You have to make sure, make sure they are not hungry. Make sure their clothes are always clean. You as the wife of their son. But most of the young people don't want to practice those kind of things. And in fact, that is part of the things that will even stop some of them. That if I'm going to marry to you, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. Like, you are giving your own rules and regulation. You are giving your own life when you get to the matrimonial house, how you want to live, what you can do and what you cannot do. And that is not part of us. That is not part of our culture. And any young man, most of the young men will not want that, will not want you to come. You don't even come to the house. You are saying, I cannot do this for your mother, I cannot do this for your father, and all that. Most of the young men, you tell them that, they will cancel everything, or they will change their minds. Okay. And then the next thing is also, like, sometimes the young people, also the young men, that's why most of them are going to this back way. That's why you are seeing a lot of this back way problems. That is another thing. Young men want to live in a good life before they get to marry. They want to have their own compound. They want to have their own house before they will get into marriage. And that is another factor that is really, really disturbing the young people in our country. There are a lot of factors, but I think with me these are the main factors of it. Like people don't want to follow. We don't want to follow our own cultures and traditions. We want to westernize everything, and then we want to get into an expensive life. You cannot cook. You cannot do certain things. Guess what? Some of these young ladies cannot even cook food. They cannot even cook normal Gambian meals. It's very sad when somebody will just appear so beautiful, so wonderful, but when it comes to cooking food, you cannot cook food for your husband. That's very sad. That's not Gambia. That's not Africa. So these are things that are problems. And then my advice, solutions to these problems is to bring everything in a nutshell. Let's try to practice our African cultures and traditions no matter what. Let's not forget our cultures and traditions. Let's not forget our social lives as African people, as Gambians. It's very, very important, whatever. And also the religion, when you are religious, also certain things are there you will not want to do it. Of course, the religion tell you that you have to take care of your husband, and then your husband is your responsibility. But again, the same religion also tell you that always follow the command of your husband. And if you follow the command of your husband till you die in that marriage, the only thing that is between you and heaven is death. Now, when your husband tell you that, I want you to take care of my mother. She is old now, and she is my mother. She took care of me. She raised me up. She did a lot of things for me. That's why you see me, you love me. So please, please, I am not at home all the time. I'm going out to hustle to put food on the table. So in my absence, when I'm not at home, if my mother needs something, please try and help her. You, as a wife, should follow the command of your husband and make sure you do that. The same religion also advise you to do that. So I don't think that should be a big problem. And besides, these old men, women, some of our mothers and fathers, they don't have problem. They are old. You just give them their food, let their clothes be clean, and that's it. They don't need more. So I think these are some of the things that women need to work on. Coming to the young men, I'm part of them. It's very important. When we get into the marriage, sometimes cheating is another bigger factor that is really disturbing us. You get married, you are still young, huh? You still want to leave your wife at home. Your wife sacrifice for you. Your wife do a lot for you. Sometimes you get money, sometimes you don't get money. Sometimes you even get fish money, sometimes you don't get fish money. The rice is finished in the house. Your wife will ignore. Maybe your wife is doing one or two small businesses and will get some money. There's no rice in the house. She will not disturb you. She will just go and buy something and cook something, and you come home and you eat together. But now you start getting some money, you start cheating your wife. That's not fair. That's very unfair. And some of these young ladies, they realize that they hear that they will not be happy. And obviously, they can take another step. And when they start taking steps, that's it. Divorce can come, which is very, very, very unfair to the women, to our wives. Okay. And that is another thing. That is another reason why Islam also advised the young men, if you know that one woman cannot satisfy you, go for the second. And that is where polygamy comes.
Okay,
If you
MLK.
know, yeah,
MLK, I'm going to pause you there. Yeah.
yeah.
I just want others to quickly talk because we have gone after time. I want Abdulli to actually come in. Hold on, Abdulli.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that in terms of the cheating aspect of the men now, because obviously Islam, allows men in the boundaries of the religion to have more than one wife if he feels that he needs to have that. So he needs to do that in order and in the practice of Islam or even the culture of it, knowing that that's going to help to just help the numbers because there's a lot of women that may not have the chance to be married. And as we know, it's an innate trait for a woman to want to marry and have children. But if he's now coming out of the order and then just going out there and doing what he pleases, he's no longer doing the practice properly. But stick a pin on that. I think we need to come back to that another time because that was very good. Abduli, can you please come in? We're going to spend another maybe 5-10 minutes and then we're going to leave because we have gone over time.
Yeah,
Go ahead, please.
yeah,
Can you? No,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, good evening. Hello. Abduli, Sanko from here. Sorry, 1 minute. Okay, sorry for that. Um, I got some reasons why most of the women are left unmarried in the Gambia here, and also why some men are not getting married now. And then the reasons beyond are like, for example, financial aspect. Traditionally, like if you look at it in previous years, it's like during the time of our forefathers and our fathers, it's like parents give out their young women for the sake of like Islamic norms. Like if you have a woman, if you have a sorry, if you have a female child, like when she reach to the maturity, parents have to give her out to get married. And then but nowadays when you look at it, like parents wanted to raise funds from their male from their female child. For example, they are not willing to give their female child to somebody who is not wealthy or who is not in this authority, understand? Or who is like, for example, they don't give their, I mean, okay, they are not willing to give their daughters to poor people, a poor woman or a poor man. Sorry, they are not willing to give their daughters to a poor man, or they are not willing to give their daughter to somebody who is not educated, or they are not willing to give their daughter to somebody who is not in recognition of any position. It's one of the major problems in Gambia why most of the women are not getting married now. And then the second thing is like the gender. Like most of the women now they develop this gender and this feminist ideology, which is caused by this Western ideology. Via movies, they look at movies, they imitate from looking at these things, you know, like the Nigerian teams, the American teams. So they just imitate from how women are behaving in that country, and then they wanted to like practice such lifestyles in our country. So by so doing, men are afraid of going in, like getting somebody with that ideology. You understand? Because you appear like if she comes into your life, she won't distract you, like for further progress and so on. And then another thing is like, for example, when we look at it, the urbanization is also another problem. Urbanization is a problem as well. For example, women in urban area and women in provinces have different ideology. For example, women in the in provinces, I've been a social worker, field worker, and I was in provinces for like 4 years. I got this, experience there. Therein, like a woman getting married would advise his husband to go in for the second wife simply because, you know, there are a lot of loads on her. For example, in some society there, men are not responsible for providing this money. It's the woman that is responsible for providing this money. The responsibility for men is to provide a bag of rice, and so then what to be there, that is the responsibility of a woman. Understand? So for that being the case, women do advise, they do put pressure on their husband to go in for the second wife so that the load can be reduced on her. You understand? So by that, like in provinces, polygamy is more than the monogamy due to hardship there. And then like men also, they are farmers. Like if you have one wife, it's like the tendency of having more kids to help you at the farming is low. So they need to go on for like 2 or 3 wives or 4 wives for them to have more kids and for them to help them at the farm or farming. Like if you have 4 wives, you may likely have 10 like boys or so, and their impact, even the women, they do go to the farm. Understand that? So the more head that you have, the easier it becomes for you, like in your farm. You understand? Is another reason why polygamy is promoted more of monogamy in the provinces than in Congo. So for in Congo here, it's like dependency is high. You know, like the economic status of Congo and the economic status of provinces is quite different. So
Okay.
like you cannot be. And then the third thing, okay, let me stop there and then go to the fourth one. The fourth one is this like migration issues. It has been a problem now. Women's is like it's a syndrome for in our society. Like women are not willing to get married to like us here. They all wanted to get married to the Spanish simply because therein they will receive currencies every month as a you know object. Like they have this notion like if they are here, tendency of getting money to their satisfaction is low. So they were all yearning to get married to those in foreign countries so that they can have some financial stability. For example, when you get competed with a semester in marrying a male somebody, there is a 90% the semester will have that you hit is another. So we here we get this notion. Look, I'm not going to hustle to get married to somebody and so on because of all this. I will look in somebody who loves me by his heart and whom I trust in, even if they love me, financial aspect wouldn't be a pressure on me from her. You understand? It's another problem. You understand? So for that being the case, like I supported polygamy than monogamy on the main aspect, like when you got 2 or 3 wives, it's more likely that your spending will be like it will satisfy because women they will hustle, put something on the table, and then you will be concentrating on like providing for the basic one and so understand that. So for the women, your three kids will be concentrating on like up, uplifting the kids and so on. So you will be providing support. Like when you have one, like having only one woman, sometimes it becomes pride on him or rude to an extent. You will have to you will come up with these ideas to control you, like to demand everything for you. She may not be motivated to go and work to bring something for you and so on. She will cheat and then you do everything for her rather. But when
Abdul,
you got two, yes,
Sorry, you have a lot to say, and
uh,
what you're saying is brilliant in actual fact. We just don't really have the time for everything that you've said there, but
uh,
you've hit on some key points, some overlapping points as well.
uh,
It's based on the economic side to it, based
mhm,
on the as mainly in survival and also control. There's the number of factors that you mentioned there of why a structure of of a polygamy may work better, not just even economically, but also the psychology of it all. You know, a woman may not want to go that further out because, she's just one. But if there's two or three, there's this thing of this whole community spirit of working together, and I think that's what's missing, that's what's lost. So there's the whole kind of a Ubuntu, the whole village of work together. And we mentioned also about social media, the West, it's kind of they're bringing in those ideas, and you kind of said it in terms of
Yeah.
why they're behaving this way is because they're seeing that others have been behaving that way and they're doing so as well. And because polygamy is not practiced as it ought to be, it then allows them to fall into a practice that they weren't doing before. And they don't even know maybe what to do because no one's doing it. Yeah. So yeah, and we know that monogamy is a Western idea anyway. Yeah, right. But that
Yeah.
should be spoken about another day. But no, thank you for that. Just hold on to what you were saying there. Maybe make a note of it because may come back to that another day. We're gonna end this very soon. Is there anybody else though? I know we've got Sheriff and Patrick. Obviously, there's a young lady here, so maybe she may want to say something. And maybe she might have heard something that she didn't quite agree with or wants to contribute towards. Fatu, being the only lady here, I really appreciate that. Yeah, and I'll speak about that in a moment. Would you like to say something? You can either come on, take off the mute and answer, or write in the chat. I'll give you like 10 seconds. Fatu, at least respond, please. Would you like to say something? Just write something or say something. Okay, I'm gonna just think that she came away from my phone. Sheriff, are you there? Yeah?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Do you want to say anything at all? Um, yeah, okay, thank you, Fatu. Yeah, Sheriff, do you want to say something, add anything really quickly to what you've heard?
I guess I will reserve my comment till the next time because they have said it all, but yeah, they have already said it all.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I'll keep my comments till
a lot of
because we are running out of time right now.
what's that, sorry?
I say we are running out of time right now,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
so I
run out of time. Yeah, I
guess
mean,
I
no, but
will
is there
reserve
anything
my
though? It's
comments.
okay. We got 30 seconds. Is there anything you want to say in 30 seconds?
That's all right.
Okay. All right, fine. Okay. No problem. All right. All right. Okay. We'll bring this to a
We
close.
good.
Yeah, I'll put you on mute. We'll bring this to a close because it's now 20 past 9. So thank you for staying on this long. Yeah, I will point this out. Okay.
Can you spare me that 30 seconds to say something?
Yeah, go on again. Go on, go on.
Yeah, I just believe that it's important for us to discuss one thing that is also to find ways on how to integrate with our brothers and sisters that are in the West, also to involve them in this, and then also they can learn our social way of living as far as marriage is important, as far as single life is important. I'm sorry, yeah, as far as single life is concerned, it's important for us to integrate, because that is something that we always advocate for, on how to discuss these kind of issues as brothers and sisters. So I think it will be very, very important, because I always do this thing as a topic on my radio talk show. That is why do we? I have a lot of people in the West, especially the UK, there, and then I have most of the women that I interview, I talk with, they are single, and all they tell me, I'm divorced. Why? What is causing this high rate of divorce in the Western ladies? So I think that is a good topic of discussion.
Good. Very, very, very good comment there because a lot of the diasporans like myself are coming over here and the women are coming here single and they're putting themselves in a lot of problems to a point a few of them have died. Yeah, as you may have known, Emma, okay? Maybe rest of you guys know. They've come over here and some of them have come with certain attitudes or certain expectations. And if you come here on your own as well, that could bring some um, attention to yourself. And if you don't do things right, then for a few, it's been death. For a few diasporan people, and that's women. Yeah, not so much the men, it's the women. And men have other ideas when they come here anyway. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, very good point. Yeah, we'll stick that on the shelf as well. We'll come back to that. Actually, Ustaz Ibrahim, closing words with yourself, please. 30 seconds, closing words based on everything that you've said as well, and then we'll bring it to an end. Yeah, just on mute. You got it? Ustaz, unmute it, man. Oh my gosh. There's a picture of the
No,
mic. Yeah, there you go.
no, I was just trying to do that.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, it's a great discussion that we have here. And then I had some of the reasons why men and women are not married are still single. And as they all rightly said, we have so many factors that affects these single men and women that we see more in the Gambia, especially from the age of 25 to 30, 35. And then it's really wallahi we need to walk towards that and see how we can help and support our brothers and sisters to get married early because it's important. Everyone needs a partner in your life. No man is an island, and then we need to support one another and help one another. And doing that, one of the key issues or key things that we need to do is to educate people, to teach them, to make them know about the benefits and the importance of marriage. Not only polygamy, but marriage itself, the benefit that it can bring. It can heal. It's a cure not only to your desires, but it's a cure to your own self. It's a cure of your mindset. It's a cure of your health. You need it within yourself, within your heart, and all aspect that marriage can bring. Wallah, is important. With our culture, as a Muslim or not Muslim, we need marriage. If not, the way of life we are living, we'll go back to a stage whereby even the animals will be better than us. And we now what we see here, we see gay coming up, we see women and women being married and all this stuff. Why? Because of we don't respect marriage. We don't know what benefit marriage can bring in our societies. And even without deen, without the religion, only with our culture, as the guy said before, during our forefathers, they encourage people to get married early with 20 years, 15 years, sisters with 15 years, they're married. 16 years, they're married. 17, they're married. Why? Because they know the importance of marriage. It safeguards you, it protects you, it gives you a honor, it gives you responsibility as a man. But nowadays, all these factors that we see, the Western world, economic factors, lack of knowledge, people thinking that they're superior to others, people just looking about dunya, we need wealthy man, wealthy woman, all these factors affecting us, which is why it's difficult, for single women and men to get married. But I believe if you focus on this more, talking about it, sensitizing people about marriage, teaching people about marriage, showcasing the benefits of marriage, I hope that the single men and women will soon get married, inshallah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And what I would do, I would just give an example when you say about education, but education going the wrong way. Well, I went on the beach some weeks back and I saw two young ladies, and they're wearing the hijabs with their cameras, doing these selfies. Yeah, they were looking very curvaceous, and I did go up to them and I asked them, "You're wearing hijab, you're Muslim, why are you dressed that way?" I asked them their ages. They were embarrassed. I asked them their ages. They were sisters. One was 18, one was 26. So I said to the 26-year-old, "Oh, can you see that your younger sister is following you? And you're 26. Are you not meant to be married?" She goes, "Yeah, I am. I am meant to be married. Can you see what you're doing here?" That's education going the wrong way. It's misguiding. So she's misguiding her little sister. That's the issues that we're finding here. So these are the things that we need to bring to their attention, and we have to find out why is it that they feel to do that. And very quickly, if it's TikTok, if it's Instagram, YouTube, we have to now what do you call it again? Restrict. We have to restrict on what can be seen as well, because they're being influenced on outside external factors. And that's a big issue, you know? But anyway, I will leave it there. I'm going to hope to get this on a cloud so that you guys can actually see this. I've gone and put this on the video by accident, but I'll see what I can do. But so that people can look back at this, and I believe that a follow-up, if you guys want it to actually happen, we can meet again and talk further. And I will address this again. Yeah, we've now got 6 people in here. There's about 35 people I'd contacted. Okay, thank you, Sheriff. Yeah, there's 35 people I contacted. Only about, I think, up to maybe 10 got on here. Yeah, and about 2 ladies. Yeah, one lady came in, she had to leave. Fatu's here. She's been here right from day one. Thank you so much. And one other young lady just couldn't come on. Okay, it's possible some others couldn't come on either. But the results you see on the day, only one lady has stuck in for all that time, but all the men are here. It's telling you that men want to lead, men want to represent. Men, I hate to say this, but men are not the problems. And the way how I've heard it is that the men here are no good, they're lazy, they're useless. I'm being honest with you, that's what I've heard. But when I've spoken to the men, nice, no problem, they're good. Yeah, they actually want to, be men. And I had one man say to me, he said, Kellyon, I can go to some young ladies and I can ask them to come to bed with me and they would do that. But I'm not that man. I thought, wow, okay. And then I'm realizing the men are not the problem. And how I know that is because more men took part in the survey. Hardly any women did. And then one woman said to me, I can get married anytime. I don't have a problem with men. I get the attention. Women like that, you don't even want to speak to. You don't want to be around them. Yeah, and it's a very childish attitude. They're baby adults walking around. Yeah, for some reason, I'd also say I think my internet's a bit unstable. The fathers, need to be around. Yeah, they need to be more present. When it comes to their daughters, especially as well as their sons. Okay, men and women, young lady, thank you so much for coming on. I will send you all the messages. Thank you so much, Mr. Ibrahim, coming and representing the Muslim Islam faith and giving the religious aspect of things and being very strict, on that in terms of what's necessary to be a Muslim because it's a Muslim country. Yeah, and things need to be done by order, which is more important. Yeah, so you have the faith, and then you also have the order. Yeah, and why we do things, which also culture would agree with that as well. MLK, as our Muslim radio host and show that you advertise these things and make it known for the public. Thank you so much for such a complete roundness of information that you've given on this platform, and why this is so important. Even the diaspora should come on board to balance things out. Well, that's the wrong word, not balance things out, to actually just know about how to live when they come into Gambia and to integrate, and fit into that order as well. Thank you, Fatu. And thank you, Abduli. Sonka, you made some very, very wonderful points there. There was a little bit of an issue with the sound, but I got what I got. And I hope to come back to you on that again next time, yeah? But
Okay, just quickly, I want to say this thing. I don't know how is your schedule on Sunday. This just coming into my mind right now to try and find. Although there is some technical issue at the radio station, but I will definitely have a meeting with the manager tomorrow. And if everything goes well, I would like to have you on the radio talk show to talk about some of this Zoom meeting. If we can have some of the members that will come on board on the radio talk show, we can talk about it. Even if they cannot come to the studio, then we can do it. They can call and we can have them on the line and we have the discussion. There's a big technical problem for my platform, but I definitely want to talk with the manager. He's my guy, and I hope he will understand. And then whatever be the case, I have him to talk about this. But this is very important as far as Gambia is concerned.
Thank you. A man with a platform is saying that, hey, you know what? Everybody come along, man. Let's have a party on this. Yeah. Alhamdulillah, let's make this happen. Thank you so much, MOK. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for your willingness and efforts to ensure that this message gets out here. Right. But yeah, I think we've done it. Yeah. It's just gone past 9:30. Thank you so much, for just extending your time, And once again, I will connect with you guys again, and alhamdulillah, inshallah, let's make this happen, Okay, I am not going anywhere. I'm staying here, And make sure that we can make this better for us all, Thank you all, and we'll speak soon, Take care for now. Bye bye.